Let's talk about gender roles. I prefer cinnamon rolls, but they aren't as deep a subject. As far as I can tell, the only immutable gender roles that are 100% inflexible are women giving birth to babies and men giving them the sperm to make it happen. Women have to give birth to babies. Not all of them do, but they have to be the ones to do it. Men don't have uteruses or vaginas. They cannot grow babies in their tummies, and the cervixes they don't have don't dilate. But sperm does need to be part of the fertilization equation, which would be a great band name, by the way. So men also have to impregnate women, whether directly or not, for the species to continue to thrive, until science inevitably goes too far and eliminates the need for either gender's participation, thus kickstarting their extinction. But beyond that, traditional gender roles aren't rigid and are nothing more than societally preferable, which is to say that they have proven utility based on the fact that we're all still alive, but it allows for small-scale deviation that doesn't harm the overarching fabric. It allows for masculine women and feminine men, gays, lesbians, trans people, male ice dancers, and female lumberjacks. There's a place for everyone, but by and large we have defaulted to a certain set of principal values that have carried us to 2018 in America, and similarly other developed nations. If you think of the typical American family, what do you see, besides a bunch of fatties and rascal scooters racing down the ice cream aisle at Walmart? Typically you see a mother who takes care of the house and raises the children, and a father who goes off to work every day. Now, could these gender roles be reversed successfully in some cases? Of course. Would they be as successful in large numbers? I doubt it. Women who raise children do it because it's a biological imperative, and I bring up biology despite it being a dirty word nowadays. Some women are not maternal at all and feel no desire to have children, but they are a small minority even among feminists. Feminists have kids too, after all. If they didn't, there wouldn't be any left. Men can love their children unconditionally, but there's a reason it's always the mother who reaches peak ferociousness when protecting her cubs. When you carry someone inside you for 9 months, you've got a head start on your husband when it comes to being attached to it. Women are simply more deeply connected to their kids, and because that level of connection is possible, they are more suited to being caregivers for them. A stay-at-home dad can do a great job, just not as good as a mom of equal caliber would. This is why the traditional gender roles work, and have worked for so long, because men can instead contribute their bigger strengths by protecting and providing for their family. Those are some of their roles, and let's explore them. Protecting women. The notion of men protecting women carries a negative connotation for some people. Like, what, you're saying women can't protect themselves? It's not about that. It's about contributing. If you want to dump every possible life burden onto women and leave nothing for the men to do, you're going to create some overwhelmed, resentful bitches and lazy, aimless douchebags in the process. Just because a woman can do anything doesn't mean she should do everything. Men want to protect women, not because they're helpless, but because they're valuable to us. We kind of like them. And we don't just want to protect them from physical danger, we want to protect them from discomfort too, from negative emotions. We open doors for them, we hold umbrellas for them, we lay our coats over puddles so they can fucking ruin them with their heels. It's a whole thing. And it's a biological imperative for men the same way motherhood is for women. Because even if you're a weak, frail, little muscleless guy like me, I still feel the urge to protect my girlfriend in whatever ways I can, and I feel bad if I feel like I can't successfully do that sometimes. So does every guy with a heart and a pulse. It's coded. I might not even lift, bro, but I've got a stun gun and we'll see how eager a mugger is to tangle with that shit. Looks like my girlfriend gets to keep her necklace tonight. Thanks, biology. Thanks, evolution. Like Louis C.K. says, ironically enough at this point, the biggest threat to women is men. Other men. I do believe in the existence of toxic masculinity. I just think it's misused a lot. Holding a door open for a woman isn't toxic masculinity. Being unable to handle rejection when it wounds your pride and turns you into a stalker is. Following a woman home is toxic masculinity. Repeatedly harassing her is toxic masculinity. Wanting to protect her is healthy masculinity, though taking it too far by being overprotective and trapping her turns that shit toxic real quick. A man also feels bad if he cannot provide for his family. There is such shame in being unemployed as a man when you know you have people depending on you. It causes depression and erectile dysfunction. Being a provider is so encoded in our DNA that failure to do so commonly makes our dick stop getting hard, as if to say, you're worthless, no procreation for you, mister. You wouldn't want your potential baby to have unemployment genes, would you? Is there a prenatal test for being a bum? In a two-parent household, one person person has to raise the kids while the other provides for the family, and we've already discussed who's better for what. Otherwise, your nanny raises your children, or the daycare system, or your TV, although that's pretty much the case anyway. If both of you stay home with the kids, nobody provides, and if both of you provide, you're doing it for strangers. People often say that the female gender roles are more restrictive, and so it's not fair. I'm sure those people aren't mothers. Ask a mother if raising her children isn't the most meaningful, rewarding thing she's ever done or will ever do. Being a mother is nothing like being a father. It's absolutely not. If the dad has a job of any kind, fatherhood comes second due to time restraints. He'll spend a few hours with them at a time after work and before bed, and then the cycle renews. This isn't to try and downplay the impact a dad has in his children's life. All the data in the world suggests the lack of a father figure during childhood is the #1 predictor of criminality in a person. Single motherhood is up all across the racial board, and it's far from ideal. Dads are dipping out by the truckload and indirectly dumping their kids into the prison system. Your mom can teach you a lot of things, but not everything. Fathers are extremely important. They just play second fiddle to their wives as far as shaping their children goes, so they play first fiddle in providing and protecting. We should all do what we're best at, but take our biological, natural advantages into account when assessing our skills instead of trying to reinvent our DNA to suit a rebellious ideology and fail spectacularly in the process at the expense of those closest to us. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino. You can support the channel on Patreon at patreon.com/sunburnedalbino. And I'll see you guys next time.